Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
I don't know if this happens every year at the 4th of July or if we just happen to stumble across a couple instances that are unusual. I don't know, but here's one final firecracker video for you. Chris Vanini sent this in. Happy 10-year anniversary to the greatest fireworks show in history. When San Diego accidentally shot off 7,000 fireworks at once.
This would be me. If I were a fireworks guy, I would be doing this accidentally.
So this was not this year. This was 10 years ago?
Yeah.
And here's what happened. Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow. Oops. People were actually running across the bay there.
I mean, that is... I guess that's the big finale. All right, we're good.
It was the beginning and the finale, looks like?
Yeah.
I mean, how does that happen?
That's a fireworks show for those on the go. Like, if you got a schedule to keep, you're like, man, I got to get these kids into bed. It's late. Boom, let's just shoot them off all at once.
And they did. 7,000 at one time. Wow. Somebody must have lost a job over that, because that's not cheap.
No.
You shoot them off all at once like that, and your display that you planned for 20 minutes or 25 minutes, it's over in a minute and a half or something. That would not be good.
No.
It is. That's suboptimum.
Optimal, yes.
Suboptimal, as Stu might say.
Yeah, let's see. San Diego, I should look this up. I'm curious now. Like, how does that happen?
Crazy. Somebody tripped and...
that would have, like I said.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Even have a story about it?
I'll have to find it. It's so old, you know.
Also, have you seen this story from Oregon? The Oregon Health Authority is a government agency that coordinates medical care and social well-being in the Beaver State. How would you like to live in the Beaver State?
Well,
I don't think I would.
Okay.
I don't think I would.
All right.
Well, in the summertime, it might be okay to be in the Beaver State.
Sure.
Because would I rather be there than when it's 106 here? Yes. Yes, I would.
Yes.
During the pandemic, OHA was responsible for coordinating Oregon's vaccination drive and disseminating information about COVID-19. Pretty vital, important tasks. The Agency Office for Equity and Inclusion, however, prefers not to rush the business of government. In fact, the office's program manager delayed a meeting with partner organizations on the stated grounds that, quote, urgency is it's a white supremacy value, unquote.
Come on.
Urgency is white supremacy? White people are the only ones who are capable of doing... I mean, that in and of itself is unbelievably racist. We're the only ones that can do something quickly?
I
think
there's
a lot of minorities, a lot of BIPOCs that would disagree with that. Mm-hmm. In an email obtained by Reason, Regional Health Equity Coalition Program Manager Danielle Droppers informed the community that a scheduled conversation between OHA officials and relevant members of the public would not take place as planned.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for your interest in attending the community conversation between Regional Health Equity Coalitions, the RHECs, of course, and Community Advisory Councils, the CACs, the CACSs, the CACs, to discuss the community investment collaboratives, wrote Droppers. We recognize that urgency is a white supremacy value that can get in the way of more intentional and thoughtful work.
Wow.
And we want to attend to this dynamic.
Yeah, don't try to keep a schedule. That's white supremacy.
Therefore, we will reach out at a later date to reschedule.
Mm-hmm.
My gosh. Absolutely everything.
What? I mean, that's just an excuse.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just looking for a way to wedge in their racism. That's all that is.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you dare not attack it if it's a white supremacy value.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that was a dig without cause. That person should be
fired.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Get out. By the way, it was a corrupted file in San Diego on a computer.
Oh, wow.
That caused 17 minutes worth of fireworks or 7,000 fireworks to go off at once.
Did they get rid of the computer? Because something had to be done. We got to do something.
Mm-hmm. Hal was having a bad day.
Also, we have what might be the most epic political ad ever.
Oh.
Jerone Davison. Jerome was in the NFL, right? And now he's running for Congress. He's a black Republican running for Congress in Arizona. And check out his latest ad.
Democrats like to say that no one needs an AR-15 for self-defense. That no one could possibly need all 30 rounds. But when this rifle is the only thing standing between your family and a dozen angry Democrats in Klan hoods, you just might need that semi-automatic and all 30 rounds.
I love it.
Jerone Davison for Congress.
A dozen angry Democrats in Klan robes.
That's great.
What a line.
That's absolutely fantastic.
I mean, the left wants us to believe that white supremacy, right, is such a huge issue in this country. They're lurking everywhere to the point we have to point it out to in the Oregon Health Department email. And that was such a powerful ad.
That's great. I hope he wins.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know anything about the rest of his platform, but I hope he wins.
Yeah, if you're listening, he's sitting at his house, and a dozen Klan members are charging at his house, wielding like pitchforks and stuff.
Why would anyone need more than 6 shots?
He stands outside with his rifle. He's like, hey, what's up, y'all?
And they leave.
Yeah.
They quickly leave.
Uh-huh.
So, I mean, that's one good example of why. I mean, maybe your house is being rushed by KKK members.
You never know, man. It's
maybe
2022.
It's been rushed by an angry mob who are pissed off about Roe v. Wade. Maybe it's the government coming to take you away. And, it's a government that's gone bad and it's oppressive now, which was really the main reason behind the Second Amendment, as we all know. Unless you're a Democrat, then you think it's about hunting. Well, nobody. What do they have Kevlar vests? Do the deer wear Kevlar vests in the forest? Yes, that's the issue there. We're trying to get through the Kevlar vest. Jeez. And speaking of epic ads, a little something from Kyle Rittenhouse, who we had in studio, 3 or 4 weeks ago? Probably now.
Yep.
And he talked about the fact that he's working on this media accountability project, which is essentially, I think he's suing everybody who talked about him pretty much. And with good reason. I mean, they made his life miserable. They altered the course of his life probably forever. As he brought it up, what's he going to do? Who's going to hire him? I don't know. But here's an epic ad on his media accountability project.
The media is the most powerful entity on earth. They have the power to make the innocent guilty and to make the guilty innocent. That's power.
That white supremacist 17-year-old Kyle Rittenhouse.
A 17-year-old vigilante, arguably a domestic terrorist, Kyle Rittenhouse, militiaman wannabe.
President Joe Biden, who used a picture of Kyle Rittenhouse as a white supremacist.
Is absolutely white supremacy.
Absolutely.
Do you feel vindicated?
I feel like justice was served. There's going to be some accountability coming.
White supremacist trials. You've got Rittenhouse.
Hate, disrespect, and intolerance.
Point of fact, the only bigot on the scene appears to have been Joseph Rosenbaum, the child rapist. And yet it's Kyle Rittenhouse who Joe Biden accused of being a white supremacist on the basis of no evidence whatsoever. And let's hope at some point he gets sued for that.
Who will be held accountable?
You are the enemy of the people.
TMAP. The Media Accountability Project. And it's coming. So that's pretty good, too. Like to see him fighting back. There was no reason for them to call him a white supremacist. No reason whatsoever. Or even a militia member. They called him everything in the book, in fact. And none of it was accurate. And continued to act as though, even during and after the trial, They acted as if he killed black men or women, blacks, which he did not do. His victims were white, just like he is. So pretty amazing that he's fighting back. And I think he took a page from what's-his-face's book when Covington, what was his name?
Nick Sandmann.
Sandmann. Nick Sandmann, who won, I think it was $250 million, wasn't it? I mean, it was a massive victory for him. And I'm sure that that's still pending some sort of trial. They're probably appealing.
The Washington Post alone settled for, the lawsuit was for $250 million. So I don't know what they settled.
Okay, maybe that wasn't disclosed.
Yeah.
But it was a pretty penny. And so you haven't heard much about Nick Sandmann in the press lately.
If I'm making that much money off of people defaming me like that, you're not going to hear much from me either.
Yeah, absolutely not.
I'm going to be on an island, man.
No kidding. But again, as Kyle said, what's he going to do from now on?
Right.
Who's going to hire him?
Right.
His life has been altered. Same with Nick Sandmann.
This is to replace his lifelong income
that
he would have earned had he not
been
had his,
CEO of some company.
Or not had his reputation completely dragged through the mud.
That's right. And what's that worth to you? That's priceless. Back on Monday, climate protesters blocked the Beltway in D.C. Just get so tired of this stuff. And here's what happened. Sitting in the road again.
Listen to this guy. He's on parole, and if he doesn't get to his job, he's going back to prison.
Wow.
I mean, this guy is desperate. He wants to work so he doesn't have to go back to prison.
Wow. Jeez.
And they're saying...
And what are they saying to him?
They're saying President Biden needs to declare a climate emergency. This is what we said. They're going to demand this. Climate emergency. Now, you see this? Now, the lady's keeping him back. However, police do show up. They arrest the protesters. And they arrest that guy who was just trying to get to his job. Now, he's probably going back to prison.
Be kidding me.
His life is probably ruined because of these a-holes blocking traffic on an interstate.
Gotta be kidding me.
There's no justice. I swear he better get a good judge.
Gosh. Okay, they are breaking the law, sitting in the middle of the freeway.
But Pat, he pulled their signs and shoved that guy out of his way. So he's going to jail too.
Yeah, he nearly killed a man. He nearly killed a man. What if one of those people had gotten a paper cut from him ripping the paper out of their hands?
See?
You know how painful those can be?
Yeah, I do.
That could hurt for minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And you might even draw blood. I mean, it's possible. I'm not saying that did happen, but the guy should have been more careful.
I swear.
I can't believe it.
I feel so bad for that guy.
Yeah. That's awful. And even if you're not on parole and you're trying to get to your job, it's still important, and they don't have any right to be doing that. They're breaking the law by sitting in the middle of the freeway. Yep. Get them out of there. Drive slowly through them.
It might be a good time to, refresh your memory on where your state stands on these laws of driving through people like that.
Yep.
And that guy right there...
I guarantee they'll get up and move if you start driving slowly.
Yeah, unless you're on their leg, and then in which case,
my
bad.
Whatever. Oops.
So the story I read referred to him as a counter-protester. No. He was a dude going to work.
Counter-protester. That is despicable. Jeez. All right. Guys, what's the first thing you notice when you look in the mirror? Do you see your balding areas? You see your thinning spots on your head? If only everything else would start falling out. The hair in your nose and your ears.
That's a good point.
And leave the hair on top of your head.
What is
That's
that
where you
all
want it.
about?
I don't know. It grows like wildfire everywhere else. And on top of your head, it doesn't grow at all.
What? There's got to be a science.
It's wrong. It is wrong.
It's wrong.
And 2 out of 3 guys experience hair loss before they're even 35. I mean, this is a tough problem, but you don't have to just put up with it. There's Keeps now. Keeps has clinically proven FDA-approved hair treatments available online. So whether you're looking to prevent hair loss, stimulate hair growth, or take care of the hair you have, your Keeps physician will help you select the right products and develop a personalized hair-saving routine that works for you. It's really easy. No waiting rooms, no pharmacy visits. Keeps is delivered straight to your door at half the cost. Yeah, half the cost. So if the bald jokes are wearing thin, you're tired of looking at yourself with your thinning hair, join the thousands of guys who've saved their hair. Visit keeps.com/Pat for 50% off your order. Keeps.com/Pat for 50% off your first order. KEEPS.com/Pat. Keeps.com/Pat.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
So you have those morons in the way for climate change. Then we've got this great story. I don't know how many times this has happened. Many. And it's just always swept under the rug. The world's top scientists are being told to cover up the fact that the Earth's temperature hasn't gone up in 15 years. Oh, okay. Yeah, scientists working on the most authoritative study on climate change were urged to cover up the fact that the world's temperature has not risen for 15 years.
Wow.
A leaked copy of the United Nations report, compiled by hundreds of scientists, shows politicians in Belgium, Germany, Hungary, and, of course, the United States, raising concerns about the final draft. It's going to be published next week. It's expected to address the fact that 1998 was the hottest year on record. Mm-hmm. Why would that be if there's climate change and the temperature's raising? What do you mean 1998? That was 24 years ago. 24 years ago. Why would that be how is that possible? I mean, we are told year after year, broke another record, hottest year ever. Next year, same thing. Wow, broke another record, hottest year ever. Really? Didn't you say that last year? Well, yeah, global warming. It's the hottest year ever, every year. And you know it's not true because you've experienced the temperatures during the course of the year. And like in Texas, I know we've had several years that have been really mild. I mean, our spring this year was really mild.
Right.
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
We're paying for it now.
So paying for it now.
We're paying for it in spades now.
And that's how weather works.
Right. It's exactly right.
Sometimes it's cooler than normal. Sometimes it's warmer than normal. Sometimes it's normal.
And all of that means climate change. All of it, Keith. Every single thing you said means climate change.
I know.
Global warming. So, 1998, hottest year on record. World temperatures have not yet exceeded it. And scientists are struggling to explain it. Could it be our weather is cyclical? And you were getting all hot and bothered over nothing. The report is the result of 6 years of work by the UN's Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, which is seen as the world authority on the extent of climate change and what's causing it. And, governments base their policies on the IPCC report. But leaked documents seen by the Associated Press yesterday revealed deep concerns among politicians about the lack of global warming over the past 15 years. Germany called for the references to the slowdown in warming to be deleted. Of course they did. Why? Because this is how they control us. And this is how they change the economies of the governments of the world to go to communism, socialism, to gain control over all of us. We've said it before. Green is the new red. Mm-hmm. This is the new communism. So they want it to be deleted, saying looking at a time span of just 10 or 15 years was misleading, and they should focus on decades or centuries. Well, that'd be fine, too, because that'll show you the same thing. Wow. Unbelievable. 15 years is more than a decade, dummies. That's a decade and a half.
That was kind of redundant then, wasn't it?
Yeah. Hungary, worried the report, would provide ammunition for deniers of man-made climate change. Ammunition, it provides proof of what we have been saying all along, is that the temperature is cyclical. Is it warmer sometimes? Yeah, yes it is. Yes it is. Did it look like the world was warming a little bit? Yes, it did. 0.9 degrees in like 100 years. Is that something to panic over? Really? And what caused it? I say the sun. They say carbon dioxide, CO2. Belgium objected to using 1998 as a starting year for stats, as it was exceptionally warm and makes the graph look flat, and suggested using 1999 or 2000 instead to give a more upward pointing curve. This is what they do. Time after time after time. They manipulate, they change data, they lower temperatures from the past to make temperatures in the present look a lot worse. How many times have they altered the temperature in the 30s? Multiple times. They just keep going back and rewriting history. You know, the U.S. delegation even weighed in, urging the authors of the report to explain away the lack of warming, using the leading hypothesis among science that the lower warming is down to more heat being absorbed by the ocean.
There it is again. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Because as we know,
carbon emissions also trap heat. Today's report shows oceans have absorbed 90% of that heat, raising ocean temperatures by half a degree. Had all that heat gone into the atmosphere,
what would happen?
Air temperatures could have risen by more than 200 degrees.
Holy cow. So you're saying instead of being 84 degrees right now,
yeah,
it would be 284 degrees?
You got it. That's
in
how it
Dallas,
works.
Texas?
Yeah.
Holy cow. That's too much. That's too hot. If the world didn't work the way it does.
Right. You got that. Now you got that. And when you talk about raising temperatures and recorded through history, I think two things always stick out in my mind. It's that so many weather stations were put near asphalt roofs during this time, where your little graph goes up. And then also, when communism technically fell in Russia, we lost all of those weather stations out in Siberia, where scientists were forced by the government to stay there and record temperatures. Well, now when you don't record those temperatures in a generally cold area of the planet,
you don't have that.
Then the average temperature of the planet
it's going to warm.
Goes up.
Yes. Yes, that's right. I mean, the IPCC, their assessment report, their last one, was published in 2007. And it was the subject of huge controversy because they had to correct the embarrassing claim that the Himalayas would melt by 2035. Anybody remember that? It was also around that same time engulfed in ClimateGate, the leaked emails that showed scientists involved in manipulating their data to make it look more convincing. And, of course, inquiries into that. They looked into it extensively and found no wrongdoing. What do you mean? They lied, and they admitted they lied, and they expected others to lie to make it look worse than it was. They've talked about that multiple times because they must alarm us to get anything done on this issue. Americans don't care about it. They try to make us care. We don't, because we understand the climate is cyclical, and we can't do anything about it. Okay? We can't change the weather. So this latest report, now, the new one, runs 2,000 pages, and it'll be shown to representatives from all 195 governments next week at a meeting in Stockholm. What do you want to bet? This doesn't even come up. They don't even mention the fact that the temperatures have not risen in 15 years. They won't even mention it. The report is expected to say the rate of warming between 98 and 2012 was about half the average rate since 1951, and put this down to natural variations like El Nino and La Nina, ocean cycles, and the cooling effects of volcanoes. Well, these are things, again, this is how the earth works. This is how God created it to work. And that's why we don't have to flip out over climate change and spend $100 trillion to paint all our roofs white or put a heat shield between us and the sun out in space somewhere. This is another plan that they've talked about. They kicked around actually putting some kind of heat shield between us, and I don't know what would hold it there in place. I don't know how big this thing would have to be. What, planet size? You're going to put a planet size shield out there?
Yeah, you think about the complications. Say, like here in Texas, when you park your car, you put up the little sun visor, right?
Yeah.
Well, you at least have the visors to hold it in place, right? We don't really have a couple of those up there.
We really don't.
Above Earth.
No.
Kind of becomes an issue.
You put them in place with 4 thumbtacks.
Oh, wait.
In space, yeah.
Oh, I got it. Hold on.
Uh-huh.
You're onto this.
Mm-hmm.
You put one of the thumbtacks on Mars, right?
Okay.
And then you put one of the thumbtacks over here on Venus.
Okay.
And then it just kind of hangs down.
Then it just drapes down between the 2 planets. So that would only have to be about 30 million miles wide. That's not bad.
Get on it, y'all.
We can do it. I mean, this is the kind of stupidity they talk about. It's just asinine. And I love the fact that this comes up from time to time. Somebody writes an honest article, and then they're going to just ignore this. They're going to pretend it didn't happen, and they're going to whistle past the graveyard, and they're going to say everything's cataclysmic, and we have 8 years left, or we're toast. Which, by the way, not even the IPCC has said. And is it Michael Schellenberg? Yeah, it's Michael Schellenberger's book that says he actually went to the very person that everybody quotes on this, went to the guy at the IPCC who supposedly said, at the time, I think it was 12 years or 10 years or something until extinction. And Schellenberger asked him, so, everybody's quoting you on this idea that we only have 10 years left. What brought you to that conclusion? The guy said, I'm so glad you're asking me about that. I didn't say that. I've never said that. And so they just quote air.
Is AOC still pushing that date?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think we're down to 7, according to her. Because it's been maybe 3 years since her initial assessment that we only had 10 years left. Yeah, she continues to do that. It's unbelievable. It's really unbelievable.
But we have electric car chargers across the fruited plain now, so that'll help with global warming.
Yeah.
You just need to be able to afford a car to plug into it.
Oh, they're really cheap now.
Yeah?
Yeah, they're really cheap. Like, you can get a nice Tesla for about $125,000. It's not bad at all. I mean, it's not $1 million.
You keep using that word cheap.
Mm-hmm.
I do not think it means
what you think it means.
Sorry.
All righty. All right. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Coming up in a few minutes, we've got to revisit this Gavin Newsom situation. I think he's the guy they're counting on for 2024. He's got the looks. He's the governor of the biggest state in the union. He's a loudmouth. He gets publicity like crazy. Well, he did another thing. He just went to Montana, which he is under their California ban because Montana. It was because Montana has a law that you got to go to the bathroom in the sex that you were assigned at birth. Okay.
Wow.
So he banned travel to that and the other states who say the same thing, like Texas. And then he goes to Montana. Now, I don't know if he went on the state's dime, but what a hypocrite.
Yeah, he says this was a private family trip.
I don't care.
Yeah, still, do you have principles or not, bro?
Right. What are you doing going to Montana when they're a hideous, horrible, bigoted state?
That's why I love it. That's why I love it. It has nothing to do with the natural beauty. I love that they're just bigoted in their laws.
Yeah, the bastards. I love it, too. And this after the restaurant situation during the pandemic.
Oh, God.
If you remember that.
What a hypocrite.
He's unbelievable.
Yep, but I mean, he fits in perfectly as far as the big hope for the Democrats, right?
He sure does. He sure does. They're looking for good hypocrites, and he's one of the best. We'll play his ad that he played again, too, just to remind you of what a douchebag this guy really is. More coming up.
Now back to Pat Gray on the Blaze Radio Network.
2 kilometers or so down, in most places there are these incredibly hot rocks because the interior of the Earth is extremely hot, several million degrees.
And the
crust of the Earth is hot.
Just a few kilometers down, the Earth is extremely hot, several million degrees.
Wow. We could have had him.
We could have had him.
Just missed by 537 votes, Florida.
Ingrates.
Thank you.
He tried. Okay, he tried.
Yeah.
And we had our chances. We had our chance with him. We could have seen 9/11 through with Al Gore. Imagine that. That's too heinous a thought, even
right?
to even try to imagine it. Got some tweets here. Cardi T tweets, climate change protesters' logic. Carbon emissions are destroying the planet. So let's cause a massive traffic backup and force thousands of people to idle their cars and trucks for hours. That will help. Such a great point.
Yep.
Red-blooded American giblets. Urgency equals white supremacy. Kind of explains Biden's rush to destroy the country. Biden equals racist equals white supremacist. Jeffy the Space Cowboy. That was so bright with those fireworks. You could play a game of nighttime baseball. Coffee Lover M. Melting Himalayas is a great band name.
Oh, Melting
I'm surprised you didn't say that, Keith.
That is a good, nice job.
And it alerts people to global warming. So you get that double benefit right there. Liberty under salt. You know, these facts are getting in the way of our climate change narrative. Go ahead and change the data so we can continue to manipulate everyone and traumatize children by telling them the world is ending. That's the worst part of this, is that the kids are all soaking it in. They don't know that these people are lying to their face. They don't know that.
It is just one of the many ways we are destroying this generation.
And our children's childhood.
Right. Yes, exactly.
Between the drag queens.
Yes.
The sex talk in kindergarten through third grade that they desperately want to have and keep whining about. And the climate change stuff where they're going to die in 10 years. How would you feel as a child?
And don't forget the last 2 years of wearing a mask at school. Are you kidding me?
Right.
And
maybe the most traumatic of all.
Right. And then you're online, learning remotely. Stolen generation.
And they've admitted all of those problems now. They know that the remote learning was a real problem. They know that these 2 years with masks on traumatized these kids. They may never be the same because of it. MJM tweets, Pat, we know that some climate scientists are going back and correcting or cherry-picking temps in the past to get the results they want. It's junk science. You're not a scientist if you have to manipulate your work. Yeah, and what they do is they try to find the result rather than just letting the results happen as the evidence produces. They are so invested in climate change that they can't allow the evidence to take them down another path. Like, hey, maybe this isn't as bad. And when they do, like Michael Schellenberger, they're vilified and demonized by the rest of the scientific community. How dare you get in the way of our money-making plan here?
No kidding.
You look at Al Gore. He became a climate billionaire.
Yeah. It worked out for him not winning the presidency.
Oh, I mean, I think that's why he doesn't run again. Even though he was so celebrated. I mean, isn't he an EGOT winner? He won the Emmy, the Grammy, the Oscar,
the Grammy,
and the
Tony.
The only thing he doesn't have is a Tony. Maybe does he have a Tony? I don't think he has the Tony.
Oh, okay. Somebody's
so he's an ego.
He's definitely an ego.
He's an ego, not an EGOT.
Can somebody work on that screenplay right now? Al Gore live.
An inconvenient play. An inconvenient Broadway play. It'd be great. Have you ever heard of the Georgia Guidestones?
Yeah.
Looks like somebody knocked one of them down. This has been called the American Stonehenge.
Stupid.
In the past. Some people think it's a satanic place.
Yeah, well, so this is in Georgia. It's near the border of South Carolina. And the way the story goes, some well-dressed man in 1979 showed up and, I don't know.
And put those up?
Yeah, basically to get them constructed. So a lot of people think it's connected to Ted Turner, which long about 1979, he might have been able to afford something like that because he was making it big with the Braves and Channel 17, CNN. So anyway, but it's
so what happened? Does anybody know what happened?
I don't know what knocked that down.
Broke it like that.
Yeah, somebody knocked down one of the tablets there. But if you read the inscription of the Georgia Guidestones, it is, like you said, this New World Order insanity. It's just gross.
It's a message consisting of a set of 10 guidelines or principles It was engraved on these Georgia Guide stones in 8 different languages. One language on each face of the 4 large upright stones. This is quite a project for somebody.
Yeah.
And we don't even know who it was, right?
Yeah.
We have no idea. Moving clockwise around the structure from due north, these languages were English, Spanish, Swahili, Hindi, Hebrew, Arabic,
It's early.
Arabic, traditional Chinese, and Russian.
Okay.
And number 1, maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature.
Doesn't that sound like Ted Turner?
Yeah, it does.
It
does.
We're going to be eating each other in like 5 or 6 minutes. I don't know.
Right. Cannibalism in 25 years.
Yeah,
and we're just about there, actually, from the time he made that prediction. I think it was 06 or 07 when he made it.
Yeah.
We're 16 years down the road.
Oh, boy.
We're almost to cannibalism now.
I mean, if inflation keeps doing what it's doing.
We're going to be in cannibalism for sure. Mm-hmm. Okay, so 500 million people. We have 7.5 billion right now. So you've got to kill 7 billion people to make this dream come true.
I wonder how they would go about doing that.
I don't know. Guide reproduction wisely, improving fitness and diversity. Number 3, unite humanity with a living new language.
Okay.
Oh. Okay, so we all speak the same language.
What does that sound like?
I don't know.
No, nothing.
I don't know. Rule passion, faith, tradition, and all things with tempered reason. Number 5, protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts. Number 6, let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in a world court.
There it is.
So this is like this is one world government, essentially.
Yeah.
Avoid petty laws and useless officials. Balance personal rights with social duties. Number 9, prize truth, beauty, and love, seeking harmony with the infinite. Beautiful.
That's the only word you can come up with for that.
It's beautiful. Number 10, be not a cancer on earth. Leave room for nature. Leave room for nature.
I can't. It's so stupid. They say it twice.
Yeah.
Like a cheesy 70s line in a TV show. You have to say it twice. Leave room for nature.
Leave room for nature.
For nature.
Yeah. For nature. Leave some room.
It makes it that much more powerful. So, yeah, somebody knocked over one of the tablets. I don't know which languages got knocked down, but...
well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Unfortunate it is.
I mean, it is vandalism.
It is.
And we don't like that.
No, we don't. We don't. But if it's a satanic monument, not that bothered by it.
There's a gray area.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it sounds pretty bad. It sounds like one world government at the very least.
For sure.
And that's not good. Now, Gavin Newsom, somebody who would lead us toward one world government. Mm-hmm. This guy is really taking on Ron DeSantis right now. But there are those who believe he is the chosen one for 2024. The biggest prelude to 2024 might be the escalating back and forth between him and Ron DeSantis. The governors for California and Florida have hurled insults about each other's leadership and policies during most of the pandemic. But now Newsom has ratcheted up the conflict by taking almost daily pot shots at his Republican foils like DeSantis and Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton. He also ran that ad the other day on the 4th of July, which is really weird. Why is the California governor taking out ad time in Florida? I don't understand that unless you're preparing yourself for a presidential run. But here's the ad that he ran in Florida, which is unique because every single line in it is a lie. Do we have that? We don't have the ad from...
It hasn't gone through my hands.
Okay. Did I not send that in, Rob?
Check your inbox. Maybe you sent it to yourself.
I don't think so. Shoot.
And doesn't Newsom understand, though, that Joe Biden's already said he's running in 2024?
He has.
I mean, what are you doing? Did I say DeSantis? I meant Newsom. Doesn't Newsom know that the leader of his party is clearly Joe Biden?
Should.
Why are you making aims at Joe's office? I mean, this...
Yeah, kind of weird. Very, very strange.
Yeah.
Okay. The other thing that just happened was my sound machine, the 360,
Yeah.
Went wild, but now it's calmed down again.
I've been watching it since we came back from the break. It's been cycling through probably a dozen times.
Yeah.
And so now it looks like it finally
it settled on something.
Okay, all right. We're making progress over there. Because if we lose the magic box,
that's
heartbreak. I mean, you got the backup, but what does the backup got? Like 10% of the stuff in it?
Well, and it's old. It's old stuff. It's all the
That's what I'm
archived
saying.
stuff, and then this has all the new stuff plus some of the old. But
you can't lose that one.
I can't lose this one. And it looked like we were going to.
It might be a good idea.
It did not feel good this morning, I'll tell you that.
Back up. That's why when you played it played the ocean clip, and then it said, "I'm going to bed now."
Right.
So, but it might be a good idea to back up what we got going over there.
It might.
Into the other one.
Yes, it might be a very good idea.
But no, I didn't see the Newsom ad. I heard he was trying to recruit the 500,000 Californians that have moved to Florida.
I thought we played it on Tuesday.
Here's
Maybe
the problem, Pat. They have you doing literally like 4 shows in this building every day.
True.
And so you're always asking for stuff that we don't have that we had. But I'm sure it's somewhere. He's looking for it in one of the other show's folders there.
All right.
But in the meantime.
Well, I got it here. And I think I can play this.
I love this. See, this is on the fly live radio.
Yeah.
/TV.
I mean, there's always a way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the Gavin Newsom ad. Obviously, just in audio, you're not going to be able to see this, but
it's Independence Day. So let's talk about what's going on in America.
Do it. All right.
Freedom, it's under attack in your state. Your Republican leaders, they're banning books.
Oh,
making
wow.
it harder to vote. Restricting speech in classrooms, even criminalizing women and doctors.
Damn it.
I urge all of you living in Florida to join the fight or join us in California. We still believe in freedom.
Sure.
Freedom of speech, freedom to choose, freedom from hate, and the freedom to love. Don't let them take your freedom.
Paid for by Newsom for California Governor 2020.
Why would Newsom for California Governor 2020 pay for an ad in Florida in 2022? Interesting, isn't it? Interesting.
I'm more hung up on the hypocrisy.
Oh, my gosh.
I can't take it.
First of all, it's packed with flat-out lies. Every single thing he says here is a lie. Freedom is not under attack in Florida. It's quite the opposite. Also, Republican leaders are banning books. No, they're not. He's trying to say that the sexual discussions that you can't have with kindergartners through third graders is akin to banning books. They're not banning books. It's just stop with the stinking lies. They're not making it harder to vote. You do have to show an ID at the voting booth. That is supported by 85% of Americans. 80% of blacks support that. Why? Because they have IDs. They don't mind showing it at the voting booth. They're fine with it. They are not children who don't know how to go to the DMV and get a driver's license. Restricting speech in classroom. Again, that's sex speech to kindergartners. And they're criminalizing women, Keith. They're criminalizing women.
Of course they are. Republicans, that's their pastime.
He's talking about the abortion law there, which does not criminalize women. Women will not be prosecuted for having an abortion if they get one.
Tell you what, Democrats, you can talk to me about how Republicans are criminalizing women when you can actually define what a woman is.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Because they've lost that ability on the left.
I love that line, too. Join us in California where we still believe in freedom. Do ya?
Oh, no.
Highest taxes in the nation, the highest gas prices, the highest home prices. You got the freedom to eliminate babies up to a week after they're born. Yeah, California is in great shape. That's why hundreds of thousands are leaving every single day.
And they lock down businesses forever in that state.
Yeah. We're getting, what was the number? 3,500? Is it a week? A month? I don't know. A day? It's like they're pouring into the state of Texas. Yeah. They're pouring into Utah. They're pouring into Colorado. They're moving into Oregon and Washington. That's why those states have all been liberalized, because they can't afford to live in California, because they don't like California, because you've made it a hellhole.
Dude is talking about freedom in his state. Is this the same state that had the school district that said if you're not a vaccinated kid, you're not welcome in school?
Yes.
And we're not even going to let you go to your prom or your graduation. Oh, the freedom is just oozing out of California. Ugh.
And I love the freedom from hate thing. Really? You're going to get the freedom from... That is what will curb your freedom. Who decides what's hate and what isn't? What's hate speech and what isn't? How do you stop the hate speech? By shutting things down, by oppressing people. That's how. The only speech that needs to be protected is the speech we don't like. You don't have to protect good speech, like, hey, have a nice day. Nobody's trying to stop that kind of speech. So, wow, what an unbelievable ad from just a total and complete douchebag, Gavin Newsom. But he's going to be the guy in 2024. I'll bet you. I'll bet you anything, because it's not going to be Biden. Nobody wants him. And as much as he wants to run, somebody's going to convince him somewhere along the way, Joe, you're a liability. No, you're not going to go. And Kamala Harris, same thing. She can't run. She's despised. So who else is there? I mean, we've gone down the bench a million times. Al Gore's not going to do it. We've already talked about that this very morning. Richard Gebhardt may be getting a little long in the tooth.
Missed his window.
Shoot. Mm-hmm. And the rest of that 18-person field back in 2020, I mean, you don't even remember who they were. They were so nondescript.
Right.
You can't even remember. Like Eric Swalwell, do you remember that guy? Not only did he sleep with a Chinese spy for 2 years, he ran for president last time.
Oh, yeah.
And nobody even remembers it.
Before or after he farted on the air? Can't remember the timeline there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hey, do yourself a favor, Pat, and don't look at your magic box over there.
Oh, geez. Did it go haywire again? See, that's a problem. Yeah, that's going to be a problem.
We're going to need an isolated camera on that, Rob.
888-900-3393. More coming up. Welcome to it. Great to have you with us. Thanks for being here. 888-900-3393. Don't forget, Pat Gray Overtime. Sign up for it by going to Pat. Let's see, where do you go? blazetv.com/Pat. That's where you go. You get $10 off when you use the promo code Pat, and then you can enjoy our overtime, Steve Dace's, Chad Prather's, everybody who has overtime. You can involve yourself in those. See all of Glenn's TV shows. I mean, it's a great bargain. You get access to all things Blaze TV. Look, if you're trying to sell your home right now, you need help, seriously.
Yeah.
You don't want to try to sale by owner.
And I know that the Gray family is going through this right now, and we had a listener that came up with a wonderful plan for you specifically.
Yeah.
If you were to put a sign in front of your house that says there's no road to Keith's house from this house,
that would improve the value.
It would sell immediately.
Yeah. That, by the way, is not my home.
Oh. Don't ruin it. Don't ruin it.
Sorry.
Squiggly ass line. Wait, and I kind of stumbled into that handle. Anyway, he went through the trouble of making this sign for you.
Thank you for the sign. That's great. And that will improve the selling price, I'm sure. Go up by at least $100,000. But it is a challenge right now to sell your house. Things are starting to go south for home sellers. It's starting to turn to the buyers again. But if you're trying to do both, you're going to need a really good realtor to get you through that whole process. Somebody who with a steady hand, who knows what they're doing, who's really experienced, and has been successful in doing this for years. That's Real Estate Agents I Trust. RealestateAgentsITrust.com.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Kind of walking on pins and needles right now. An incredible machine that I love that we must have.
How long have you had that thing?
Long time.
Was that before you worked for Glenn?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had this in Houston.
Yeah.
So it's been, 21, 22 years.
So it's the same model.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. One of them's new. I had to get another one.
Yeah.
And one of them has been around for like 25 years. But so that tells you the technology is not exactly brand new, but it just serves my purposes so well.
Sure.
It really does. And plus, I'm just a creature of habit. I mean, it took me a long time to switch to this. We used to have to do like when Glenn and I worked together, it was reel-to-reel tape. And then, so when somebody would call and you'd record something, then you had to splice it up with your razor blade and put it back together with tape. And I mean, we had tape from one end of the studio to the other every day.
And I remember when you moved to Houston, you had all these reel-to-reels, and you went through the painstaking process of having to record them into, I think it was a computer.
Another format.
Yeah, something.
Yep.
And then that, I don't know.
Yes.
So, I mean, it is, but this is perfect for you.
And people in Salt Lake City, I was in Salt Lake City when these were developed. And they kept telling me, Pat, it's so much easier. It's digital now. You don't have to do all that splicing of tape. But I was so used to it. Splicing. I didn't. And then when I finally made the switch to the predecessor of this, I mean, it's a godsend.
Yeah.
And then this came along, and it's even better. And so now that it's going haywire,
and what that piece of paper that sits on the top there, you assign hotkeys, right, to which sound effects that you're in the news right now,
right,
and you write on them, and that
tells you what's there,
right. I've had to order blank ones because you have like 100 blank grids that you just can you overlay it? Can you show everyone how it overlays on the buttons like that? I mean, I think this is. Look at that. See that? See watch this. See? And then boom.
Look at that.
Now, if
that's
this
modern technology.
And so this guy today is not having a good day.
No, it keeps whacking out.
Right. And I'm watching it over here as the segment goes on.
And I think the next time I play something on it, it's going to go haywire again.
Yeah.
Something's wrong.
Keeping an eye on it.
That's not good.
So here's
is there a 360 doctor in the house?
360 doctor.
I need a doctor.
So here, let me throw this out there. Remember how the folks in Utah said, "Hey, Pat, you should switch to the 360." Would you consider, and Rob, I don't know if you have a camera here on no notice here of Corby's setup there. Corby plays his sound effects in there off of a computer screen. As you can see, that little left computer screen's got the buttons and stuff like that. What if we got you one of those and put it to your right there, a little touch screen, and you could just, would you go for that?
I could, yeah, I think I could.
So let's keep an eye on Mr. 360.
Yeah.
And if he starts crapping out, then maybe we'll get you set up with It'll only take them 3 years to follow up on the request to put a touchscreen monitor there for you.
Yeah, 3, 4, 5 years, something like that.
In the meantime, we don't need sound. Yeah.
Right. In the meantime, I guess we rely on the old one or the new one. I'm not sure which is which, actually. They look exactly the same.
Well, maybe the new one's crapping out and the old one's a stalwart.
It is possible. I don't know.
Okay.
All right. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Yesterday, it was being circulated that Joe Biden put the Medal of Honor on a veteran backward. Watch this.
See, it looks like it's just right around his neck, and like it's probably hanging off the back there. You see that?
Yeah, it does.
And so people are like, "Man, he's dumb. Joe Biden's stupid."
And not just because of this.
But you know what, though? Here's what you need to notice. When you see videos of Joe Biden being circulated showing how stupid he is, it's probably accurate. But if it's blurry like this, somebody's playing tricks. Because this isn't the first time we've seen a video like this.
And stop doing that, please.
Yeah.
We've got enough real evidence. We don't need to be discredited with garbage like this.
Because here's what it actually looked like.
The President of the United States.
Obviously, a much clearer video. You see the medal hanging off the front.
Right.
He puts it around the hero's neck from
Vietnam. Sniffs his hair.
Right, sniffs his hair. Like that's what's taking so long here. He's like,
But you can see he put it the right way.
Yes.
With the medal facing out. So
it does look like it's...
Look, he's about to make tender love to him.
That's why we had to stop it.
Weird.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was inaccurate. He did put the medal on properly.
He did. But I mean, I thought they hung down a little bit more than that, but
yeah, that's weird.
Anyhow,
but there it is.
Yeah, so just be careful when you see a video and it's fuzzy. That's your first tip-off.
And meanwhile, he was talking about the economy as well yesterday in a separate event, and here's what he had to say about the economy.
We got a long way to go because of inflation, because of I call it.
You call it the Putin price hike.
Tax increase.
Oh, now it's a tax
increase. Because of gasoline. Yes. And all that grain he's keeping from being able to get to the market.
Putin.
Right.
There it is.
Oh, there you go.
Putin
again. I call it the Putin tax hike.
Tax increase.
Increase. Yeah. Is that what I called it?
Yeah.
I don't even remember.
You're not staying on messaging, Joe.
20 seconds ago when I said it. You expect me to be like a genius memory person? Is that what you expect?
So all of your economic issues as you are driving to work this morning?
That's because of Putin.
Putin on gas and Putin on all that grain.
The gas and grain.
That's
tax
everything.
Increase.
Everything else is staying steady.
Vladimir Putin, he did it.
Yeah,
he did.
I love the meme that's going around, and it's got the two dogs in the hallway, and they're looking up at their owner. They're all like, not doing so well. They're like, man, thank goodness you're home. The Russians pooped in the hallway.
That's good.
Good stuff.
I like that.
Yeah.
And it's accurate.
I mean,
It's
seriously.
accurate.
Yeah.
Why not? Why not blame that on the Russians? Everything has been. And then, the Democrat thing we showed about them claiming the election was stolen in 2016, in 2000. And every time a Republican has won, it's because they've cheated or the Russians colluded or whatever else. So they've been blaming the Russians and Russian collusion for several decades now. And they just continue. Now they actually have some real problems to attach to it from the Russians. Yesterday, do we have the Peter Doocy?
Yeah.
We do have him talking to KJP again?
Yeah.
Okay. This time, he's trying to pin down all of the lying that's been done about Joe Biden not knowing about Hunter Biden's business dealings. And here's what happened.
Why is there a voicemail of the president talking to his son about his overseas business dealings if the president has said he's never spoken to his son about his overseas business dealings?
Good question.
First I'll say that what the president said stands. So
wait,
if that's what the president said, that is what stands. And second,
pause it for a second.
secondly,
He just told you, Karine, that it's not accurate, that it's obviously a lie because he was talking on the voicemail about Hunter's businesses and an article that talked about Hunter's businesses. And he was telling him, yeah, there was a good article about your businesses in the New York Times. So what do you mean what he said stands? No, it doesn't. It does not stand. Anyway, she continued to lie.
And
secondly, about a New York Times article concerning Hunter business dealings, and he says, I think you're clear.
Secondly.
How is that not him talking to his son about his overseas
Secondly.
we're not, from this podium, I am not going to talk about alleged materials from the laptop.
So are you disputing the president's voice on the voicemail?
I am not going to talk about alleged materials on the laptop.
Are
It's
you
not
disputing
happening.
then that it is not?
Peter, I refer you to
What do
his
you refer
son's
me to?
representative.
Okay. All right. And that's whom? Who is Hunter's representative? Who can I talk to on this? This is just despicable what they're getting away with.
Yep.
They can do this because the press lets them get away with it.
Yep.
If that was Donald Trump's, if that's Kayleigh McEnany, are you kidding me? She would be vilified. They would not stand for it. They'd be shouting questions the rest of the press conference.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'd be talking about how they're dodging questions, and that would lead the news on CNN and MSNBC, CBS, ABC, NBC, all of them would be talking about nothing but that. How they're dodging these questions, they've been caught in a lie, and they won't admit it. Yeah, but the Biden administration just gets off scot-free. No problem. All right, let's refer to Hunter Biden's representatives. What is that, the crack whore that he was doing blow off of her stomach? Is that who his representative is? Okay, thank you for that information. Wow.
You know what? It might take the Democrat Party, such as Gavin Newsom, if they do actually go ahead with this challenge in 2024, and they do run against, if Joe Biden runs, I mean, that's when this is going to come out at Democrat debates. That's when this is going to finally become an issue, this kind of stuff.
Yeah, if anybody runs against him. You think anybody would run against him? I don't think so. I think he's got a clear path to the nomination if he decides. Because what can you do? It's the incumbent president. Yeah. Anybody who challenges him is going to be, persona non grata then with the Democrats.
I mean, look, let's see, in 1980, right? Didn't Jimmy Carter have a big Ted Kennedy ran against him, right? And didn't hurt his political career.
Maybe Walter Mondale, too? Was that?
Remember the whole
It was
field.
maybe later.
But
maybe
I think the most serious threat was from Kennedy.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't.
Well,
he
'cause
is so weak.
By
as a
then,
president.
Kennedy had 11 years between himself and the time that he killed that person.
Wait, what? What's this?
What?
Huh?
I'm sorry.
Killed
What did
someone?
You? No, that's not.
Not
what I
my
said.
Ted Kennedy.
No.
Uncle Ted killed someone? This is breaking news.
No, there was a serious accident.
Okay.
That happened.
Oh, you're talking about.
Right. He drove.
I couldn't
off.
tell what you were referring to.
Yeah.
The car accident on the
car
bridge.
accident on the bridge, exactly.
Killed someone.
Where he tried desperately, time after time, to get back down to her in the water there, and he couldn't. Well, he didn't try time after time, but he only waited 18 hours before calling the police and having somebody go down there after
Boy, there
her.
is power in that D, huh?
Oh my God.
The
literally get away with murder.
Invincibility.
Yep.
That you take the superpowers that you take on when you declare you're a Democrat.
It's for sure.
By the way, I have
Definitely
some bad
helps.
news
You do?
over your shoulder there.
Oh no, it's gone haywire.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh yep, it's recycling again.
There it is. Sorry about that.
All right.
Yeah.
There it is.
There it is. Hey.
See the?
That's bad.
Yeah.
That's a
That's
bad
not
look.
good. That is not good. What
When
you're
it
seeing
freezes-
right there.
It looks like the volume is just maxed out. Oh no! Is this our? Oh no!
Oh wow!
Are we? Time of death? 7:14 a.m. Central.
7:14:28. Log it.
July 7th, 2022. Nurse, where's my next patient? Oh no! This is really sad.
It is sad.
This is. He's been a trusted friend for so long.
It is.
And he's given it the old college try. But
Been there through thick and thin through 25 years.
Can't do it.
Incredible on-air battles.
Wow. There's been a lot of good times we've had with him.
And
think
some
of,
bad.
Right, but think of all the fun Al Gore clips.
Right.
And the enraging Barack Obama clips
All
that
gone.
have passed through that machine. Oh, and the
All
Joe
gone.
Biden fumbles. Oh, my goodness. Oh, I'm so depressed now.
All right, let me tell you about Rough Greens. Rough Greens is a dog food supplement that you sprinkle on top of your dog's food that's dead and burned and sterilized because it goes through this process so that, it'll last on the store shelves for up to 3 years. Well, Rough Greens is a supplement that puts back into it all of the nutrients that are missing now because they were burned out in that sterilization process. And so your dog will get the vitamins and minerals it needs, probiotics, antioxidants, all the nutrients that are missing out of most dog foods. And the taste is something they absolutely love. Dogs go crazy for it. My dog wouldn't even eat her dog food without Rough Greens on top of it. You want to find out if your dog feels the same way about it as mine, you can get a free bag of Rough Greens to try out for just a couple of days. All you have to pay is the shipping. So go to roughgreens.com, R-U-F-F Greens, roughgreens.com, or call 833-783-3364.
Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Tweet from Vern Lundquist. Pat, that soundboard is more archaic than myself. Glenn can expense you an upgrade. Sure. Yeah, I'm sure that'll happen really soon. B. de Bodine tweets, by all that is holy, that machine better be fixed by tomorrow so I can hear Paul Harvey tell me good morning. Yep.
It's Friday.
I think we've got that somewhere else, don't we?
Good morning, Americans.
Thursday.
But yeah, you can see the 360's already been removed.
Wow.
Our engineer is
By the
already taking it.
Wait, that was an engineer? He had
under
a
his
shirt
wing.
that said coroner on it. That was the
Right,
engineer?
Yes. The machine's on an iron lung right now, and we'll see if it survives the night. I don't have high hopes for it. Benjamin Flinsborg tweets, Pat's magic box has become Skynet. Rowdy Introvert, maybe the same corrupt file that accidentally launched 7,000 fireworks is now infecting Pat's Mr. 360. Yep. That's probably what's going on, as a matter of fact. Also, this tweet from Yellow Sticker Bandit. Did Jeffy get cookie crumbs in the 360 when he did overtime yesterday? Yes! I bet you just nailed what it is.
The Sticker Bandit is accurate because Jeffy probably
Some
is who
food
did that.
product, yeah. Some food product ended up in the 360.
That's what it was.
That's a good point.
I mean, it was working fine.
Right.
And then he sat over there for overtime.
Yep. All right. Check out this news headline from Canada.
Ooh.
Deaths with unknown causes now Alberta's top killer. The top 10 causes of death in 2021. And I guess this is just in the province of Alberta, right? Ill-defined and unknown causes, number 1 killer. Number 2, dementia. Number 3, COVID-19. Number 4, chronic ischemic heart disease. Number 5, malignant neoplasms, trachea, and etc. Number 6, acute myocardial infarction. Number 7, chronic obstruction pulmonary disease. Number 8, diabetes. Number 9, stroke. And number 10, accidental poisoning and exposure to drugs other substances.
That's weird. I wonder what's causing all these deaths.
Well, the ill-defined and unknown causes, especially at number 1,
that's
with
what I mean.
3,364. What could that be? You know what Keith Malinak is thinking?
What? What do you mean? What? I don't know. Did they stub their toe and it killed them?
No, I don't think so. Maybe it has something to do with something that was injected in them? I don't know. Who knows?
That is a strange leap, sir.
But we know it's the one that's going on in your head right now.
Yeah. So I'm looking at, I was trying to find Alberta's leading causes of death in 2019.
Oh, okay. To see if it was known causes?
Yeah, and I found cancer for Canada.
But you haven't seen Alberta's?
Yeah, I'm trying to find, because I'd really like to see where, unknown causes were in previous years.
Yeah, that would be interesting, because you could compare and see if it had anything to do with vaccine.
But if Alberta is like the entire nation of Canada, then that should be... Cancer isn't even on here, is it? That's weird. So, I mean, this truly could be nothing.
Yeah.
Or it could be
something.
Oh my gosh, what has changed in Alberta?
Right. Yes. It could be nothing, or it could be something. Very definitely something.
There we go. We summed it up.
I'm
going to try to find the 2019 Alberta causes here.
Please do. Yeah, that might be interesting to track down. Yeah. And then you could see, because if unknown causes have always been, up at the top, then we're on to nothing there. If not, it might be something. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. There's a new piece of technology in China, and it's being used to collect dead bodies there. Here's what's happening.
All right, that's
creepy.
Yeah, it is.
Wow. So they go around and just scoop up dead bodies that.
Are they expecting more virus breakout deaths, or like what?
It's a good question. Because what do you need that for? Is the way we're doing it now so clunky, so awkward, so cumbersome that we needed to invent that machine, the dead body remover machine?
Or as members of this audience pointed out, well, I mean, Jeffy's not going to be picked up by one of those. So he's fine.
Not unless they've got a triple-sized one.
Right.
A lot bigger than that one.
For what it's worth, I did find the leading causes of death in Alberta for 2017, 2018, and 2019.
Oh.
The top of that list every year was dementia.
Wow.
Followed by heart disease and lung cancer.
Okay.
COPD, heart attack. I mean, these are standard top 5. I mean, just going down.
So it's not in the top 5.
The top 5 is the same across the board all 3 years. Dementia, heart disease, lung cancer, COPD, heart attack. Then we get down to blocked artery, overdose, stroke,
that's interesting.
Stuff like that. The unknown causes does not appear in the top 9 of these lists from Alberta.
That is really interesting.
2017, 2018, 2019.
And then all of a sudden, unknown causes. Huh. What changed, I wonder?
They were stubbing their toes, and I mean, that stuff hurts. It kill you.
It does make you think, doesn't it? Makes you suspicious.
Sure does.
Wow. 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed just around the corner.
on the Blaze Radio Network.
Let me tell you about Patriot Mobile. Have you made the switch yet? If not, why? I mean, free speech, religious liberty, the Second Amendment. You know, our constitutional rights are under constant attack, and it's only getting worse by the day. And that's why I'm proud to support Patriot Mobile. They're not just America's only Christian conservative cell phone provider. They're one of the few companies fighting back against all this nonsense. They offer the same nationwide coverage as all the major carriers. So you get the same great service, plus you get the peace of mind that your money is combating the left's attempt to silence you, not helping it. Patriot Mobile has plans to fit any budget. They have their 100% U.S.-based customer support team, which provides exceptional customer service. They share your values. They support organizations that fight for religious freedom and constitutional rights and the sanctity of life. Go to patriotmobile.com/Pat or call 972-PATRIOT. You'll get free activation when you use the offer code PAT. Between the left, the media, and the rhinos, we've got to stick together. patriotmobile.com/Pat, patriotmobile.com/Pat, or 972-PATRIOT.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
All right, let's go to Meg in California. Hey, Meg, you're on the Blaze.
Hey,
it's Georgia. I'm sorry.
Who
Yeah.
cares?
Georgia.
I mean, honestly, I lived there before. So I don't know if you guys are aware of a study that the MIT has done this study with other scientists around the world. The Sahara Desert, this is 3.5 million square miles. Every 20,000 years, it turns into a lush, verdant, beautiful landscape with beautiful mega lakes. And they have proven this every 20,000 years only because the Earth tilts on its axis.
Huh.
What if the Earth is tilting on its axis right now and we're all flipping out?
Right.
I mean, what if Og went outside after painting his cave thing and was like, oh my God, the lake's getting small.
That's right.
So it's just insanity. And this is MIT. I'm pretty sure they're a liberal university.
Pretty sure,
think
yeah.
that maybe they might want to look at their own research.
That'd be nice.
Anyway, I just thought it was kind of interesting because
It is.
everyone agrees around the world of this, but then no one's agreeing about the other crap.
No, that's right. Appreciate it. Thanks, Meg. That makes too much sense for them.
Yeah.
They can't handle that much sense. Not only does the Sahara turn a lush green, but do you know that they've found they have found fossilized palm trees in the Arctic? I mean, we've talked about that before as well. It used to be fairly tropical or subtropical.
Yeah.
I mean, it was very warm in the Arctic region at one point. Well, more than one point. I mean, that goes in cycles as well. Right now it's cold, but it's getting warmer. The ice. Oh, geez, I bet I don't have it. I bet I don't have it.
Oh, no.
Let's see.
While you look for that, let me also say that they've grown barley in Greenland. They've found what they believe were citrus trees in Great Britain.
Okay.
So, I mean, there's evidence.
Citrus trees in Great Britain.
There's some debate on that.
Yeah.
But they do believe that it was citrus of some sort there. Anyway.
Interesting.
It's been warmer further north than it is now. That's a fact.
There's no question about that.
Fact. There's no way you can argue out of that.
No question.
And let's see. Let me see what comes with more anecdotes. Anecdotes here for you while you're surfing over there.
Yeah, it's in my other one. So. See, that's what's going to happen if that thing doesn't come back to life. It's gonna hurt. It is going to hurt.
We'll get there. It's okay. The coroner who came by and picked up the other box, he seemed very confident in his ability.
He did seem confident.
Yeah.
That he was going to be able to resuscitate it. So we'll see. Melody in Utah. Hi, you're on the Blaze.
Hey. Hi. So I noticed that you guys lately have been talking a lot about the stolen generation and about how basically the next generation is in trouble.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. I'm actually a member of Gen Z.
Okay.
And I thought I'd just let you guys know that there are some of us who exist and that there is hope. And
thank heaven.
Yeah, there aren't many of us there are, there aren't many of us who still believe in the Constitution and haven't been brainwashed. And
that doesn't give us hope if there's just a few of you.
Media. I'm letting you know that we exist and we are fighting as hard as we can for things that are good and right.
That is good to know.
Yeah.
And how old are you, Melody?
I'm 22.
22. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So you're not like a unicorn. There's more than one?
No.
Okay. All right. Appreciate it.
Decent amount of us, but
thanks a lot, Melody. That is good to know.
And
it does give you hope.
Point out she's calling from Utah, not New Jersey.
Right.
So she's going to have more hope just by geography alone. I'm glad that there's hope.
Yes, me too.
I'm glad that there are still people out there who have hope.
Yes, and 22-year-olds talk to other 22-year-olds. Maybe she can have influence on those around her.
Sure,
and that influence will spread like wildfire.
And regardless of the direction of the country, 20 years from now, when Melody's in her 40s, she'll have lost all hope whatsoever, and she can join the rest of us here.
Yeah, right. Under Chinese rule.
Oh, no. No, I said regardless of the direction of the country. I'm just talking about just general progression in life.
So there are never-before-seen microbes locked in glacier ice.
I don't like this.
That could spark a wave of new pandemics if they're released.
Don't like this, Pat.
Stunned scientists have uncovered more than 900 never-before-seen species of microbes living inside glaciers on the Tibetan Plateau.
No.
Analysis of the microbe genomes revealed that some have the potential to spawn new pandemics if rapid melting caused by climate change.
No, of course.
Releases them from their icy prison.
They're going to find a way to get you to care.
They're working on it.
About something that doesn't even exist.
Yeah, absolutely
really.
Everything. Everything is either climate change or white supremacy. There's only two things now that are happening in this society. Climate change and white supremacy. In a new study, researchers from the Chinese Academy of Sciences, and I think we all look to the Chinese Academy of Sciences for our facts, don't we? Took ice samples from 21 glaciers on the Tibetan Plateau, a high-altitude region in Asia wedged between the Himalayan mountain range to the south and the Taklamakan Desert to the north. How many times have you traversed the Taklamakan Desert?
Oh, it's on my bucket list.
Too many times. I can't even.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So many times.
You're a show-off.
The team then sequenced the DNA of the microscopic organisms locked inside the ice, creating massive databases of microbe genomes that they named the Tibetan Glacier Genome and Gene Catalog. Very catchy. It's the first time that a microbial community hidden within a glacier has been genetically sequenced. The team found 968 microbial species frozen within the ice. Mostly bacteria, but also algae, fungi, and other stuff. The researchers reported in the journal Nature Biotechnology.
Hold on a second. Is that in the story? Is that the scientific term? They found, quote, other stuff?
Other stuff.
End quote?
Yes, that's a very technical term that I could not have come up with on my own. No. But perhaps more surprising, around 98% of those species were completely new to science.
Uh-oh.
Oh, wow.
Uh-oh.
This level of microbial diversity was unexpected because of the challenges associated with living inside glaciers. Despite extreme environmental conditions, such as low temperatures, you might expect in a glacier, high levels of solar radiation, periodic freeze-thaw cycles. Wait, there's cycles? It's not just climate change? And nutrient limitation. The surfaces of glaciers support a diverse array of life.
Didn't they? You just caught it. Didn't they just contradict themselves in the article?
They did. Yeah, they really kind of did, didn't they?
Because the story starts off with climate change has revealed these microbes.
Yeah, right.
And then later on it talks about their freeze-thaw cycles.
Yes. And we all know that the Earth freezes and thaws, and we've had ice ages and then non-ice ages, and then another ice age, and then a mini ice age, and then it warms up, and then it cools off.
You can't have ice ages without it getting warmer in between.
No, you cannot. The researchers aren't sure exactly how old some of the microbes are. prior studies have shown that it's possible to revive microbes that have been trapped in ice.
No, don't do it.
Up to 10,000 years.
No, let's just leave it. Okay, we're good.
You don't want to do the mosquito in amber and then pull it out and
no, I'm good.
Create dinosaurs.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
All right.
Let's just enjoy the organisms that we have now.
Well, yeah, and here's the kicker. Evidence suggests that some of these newfound bacteria could be very dangerous to humans and other organisms. Yeah, so don't mess with it. What are you doing?
Leave it alone.
They identified 27,000 potential virulent factors, molecules that help bacteria invade and colonize potential hosts. This is the kind of stuff they're screwing around with all the time. That's why we have coronavirus.
Yeah, go back to the beginning of this. Who was it again? The Chinese whatever thing?
Yes, the Chinese Academy of Sciences. So they're doing the same stupid thing, only out in the open with the glaciers. I'm sure they take it back to a lab, but perhaps a lab in, I don't know, Wuhan?
No.
Maybe? When are we going to learn our lesson with this?
Well, we're not. Humans are stupid.
We are not.
And Melody in Utah, how much hope you got now? Huh? You hear that story? You still feeling the hope out there? Sorry.
We can dash it in 5 minutes.
Absolutely.
And you're welcome. Right now, court packing is a real danger to this country. Court packing is essentially a coup. And the usual suspects, Biden, Pelosi, Schumer, they're working overtime on their radical plans to pack the Supreme Court. They want at least 13 justices, maybe as many as 15. If we don't stop them, they will rig the system in their favor. It'll be catastrophic for the court, for our country, for our way of life, and we can't let it happen. We need you to join us on this list. Please sign this petition and show them that we don't want a Supreme Court coup. We're gathering a coalition of 1 million patriots to say no to court packing, no to their liberal agenda, and no to the Supreme Court coup. Franklin Graham, former U.S. Attorney General Ed Meese, Dr. James Dobson, the Family Policy Alliance, and the Heritage Foundation, plus over 400,000 people like you are all on board. So please sign your name now. Go to Supreme Coup, COUP, .com, supremecoup.com to sign First Liberty's letter. That's supremecoup.com.
Pat Gray.
Now that Roe v. Wade has been overturned by the Supreme Court, the fight goes to the individual states. And Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren is coming after crisis pregnancy centers right now. No. Listen to her here. Jeez.
Senator Warren also taking aim at pregnancy crisis centers.
Here in Massachusetts, these so-called crisis pregnancy centers outnumber genuine abortion clinics by 3 to 1.
Good.
She says women walk into the centers believing they'll get abortions. Instead, they try to talk women out of it. She calls it a bait and switch.
They are giving it over to people who wish them harm. And that
wish
has
them
to
harm?
Stop. We need to put a stop to that in Massachusetts right now.
And we need to put a stop to that in Massachusetts right now.
We need to put a stop to people being encouraged to carry their babies to term and allow them to live.
Which is just a roundabout way of saying cause them harm. Right? I mean, that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
These people are insane.
Yep.
They are an insane death cult. It's despicable. It's evil. It is evil. Wow. They outnumber legitimate abortion clinics by 3 to 1.
But that's a bad thing.
Good. What's wrong with that?
You've said it time and time again, Pat. Safe and rare is so far in the rear view mirror.
Absolutely gone. They don't have any interest in safe and rare anymore. And certainly not rare. They want it to be plentiful. They want the opposite, and they cheer for it now. It's man.
How's that hope going out there, Melody? Sorry.
Oh, boy. You know, the more information that comes out about Uvalde, the worse it gets.
Oh, gosh.
On what happened there and how it could have been prevented. We've got a report now that somebody actually had this guy in their sights, wanted to take the shot, asked to take the shot, and somehow it didn't come through. They didn't say yes. I mean, are there really rules of engagement like that with the police?
I was confused by that, too.
What?
I thought that, this is me thinking, just as a citizen, once you've gone through the training, now you are a peace officer.
And you apply it.
And you know your training. And
let's see. If a guy is walking into an elementary school with loaded weapons, do I take that shot? Yeah, I think so. I
mean, that just seems like a hypothetical you would give to someone. Yeah. All right, so you observe a subject who has been shooting at random passersby.
Yeah.
And he's now headed into an
elementary school.
Do you engage the suspect?
Kind of a no-brainer, it seems. What does it take? We had a guy that was seen trying to enter a school with a thermal nuclear warhead under one arm, and there was a hyperspeed intercontinental ballistic missile under his other arm.
Is that right?
And the authorities there didn't know what to do with him. So they just let him load it into the back end of his truck and take off. Last we seen him, he was headed towards a school ground. But I didn't take the shot because I thought, I don't know if he's up to no good with those weapons.
Good job, officer.
Maybe he's just going to display them. I don't know. Maybe it's a learning opportunity for somebody.
You don't want to jump to conclusions. It may have been show and tell day.
It's show and tell at the school. Here, kids, is a thermal nuclear weapon. This is how it works. This is not something you play with out on the playground. I mean, seriously, what does it take? What does it take? I don't understand it. I mean, you talk about an incident, a tragedy that could have been averted. This is the very definition of it. And then everything that could have stopped it went wrong. Everything.
Yeah.
And when you think that the door to that classroom wasn't even locked, they could have entered at any time. Could have followed him right in there. Shot him before he opened fire at all. I don't know. It's incredible.
Thankfully, we had a tip save a massacre in Richmond, Virginia from happening.
Oh, yeah.
We had a couple of illegal aliens that were planning to shoot up an amphitheater on July 4th in Richmond, and that tip led authorities to that house, and they were able to get both of those bad guys. And the shooter in Highland Park was stopped before he was considering going over to Madison in Wisconsin to do another massacre there. So it was good.
Wow. Could have been a lot worse on the 4th of July. A lot worse. You believe that? So one did happen. One was about to happen, but was prevented because somebody saw something and did something and said something. Just really great. They alerted authorities after having overheard a conversation between the two attackers, or the would-be attackers. And then police, with the assistance of the FBI, Homeland Security, were able to apprehend the two men who were in possession of two rifles, a handgun, and 223 rounds of ammunition. Yep, they could have done some real damage there, but that was averted, thank goodness. Meanwhile, in Manhattan, a bodega clerk was forced to grab a knife to fend off a violent ex-con, and because he did that and stabbed the guy who was attacking him, he finds himself behind bars at Rikers Island.
Oh, my. What?
Charged with murder and unable to post the $250,000 bond. Jeez. Jose Alba, who has no known criminal history, was just half of what the controversial Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg's office demanded, despite surveillance video showing the clerk being assaulted by his alleged victim in his bodega. He was charged with the fatal stabbing of Austin Simon, 34. Alba is 51. His attacker was 34. He can be seen storming behind the counter at the Hamilton Heights Grocery on Broadway and West 139th Street to attack the store worker Friday night. Alba's daughter said it was either him or the guy who was attacking him. He's never hurt anybody. He's never had an altercation where he had to defend himself. This is the first time for him. So he stabbed the guy in self-defense, and he's charged with murder. How does this happen? The injustice.
Yeah. I would say that the system will work itself out here, but it's New York.
Right. You never know. You never know. They let criminals go, and they charge good people who defended themselves with murder. And he's in Rikers Island right now, unable to post bond. Jeez. Also, Ukrainian Prime Minister Denis Shmyhal speaks during a news briefing, and he says that Ukraine needs $750 billion for a 3-stage recovery plan in the wake of Russia's invasion. Do I have that on? Did I leave my $750 billion? It's in my other pants. Dang it!
Oh no!
Shoot.
So you wanted to help out?
I did. But, I did. I had most. I think I had all of it.
That's what I do when bums walk up to me at a red light. I go, "Oh crap!
Shoot!
I left my
wallet.
Yeah,
other pants.
Sorry, dude.
My other pants. It's in our other American pants that we left. We left it at the laundry, and somebody took it.
Is he asking us for this money? Because
I think
to
so.
quote Nancy Pelosi, the cupboard is bare. So back off. An interesting thing happens when you launder money. It starts off green, and then when you get done laundering it, it turns out to be blue and yellow. It's amazing how that happens. It goes in green, and then it turns into that.
Blue and yellow.
Ukrainian flag there. Thank you. So, I'm telling you, we're going to know the truth one day on Ukraine, and all of our money is gone.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Today, the direct infrastructure losses of Ukraine stand at over $100 billion. Who will pay for the renewal plan, which is already being valued at $750 billion?
No.
You will pay for it. It's your country.
No.
How about that? You.
Thank you.
Pay for it. Oh, gosh. We're going to have to rebuild Ukraine. No. Watch and see. We're going to rebuild
We didn't do anything.
I know.
We destroyed Iraq. We destroyed Afghanistan. I got it. An argument can be made. We haven't touched Ukraine. Stop.
Jeez. Oh. It just doesn't end. It doesn't end. Wow. You know it'll cost you less than $750 billion? Cookies from Kexi.
Oh, nice.
Kexi.com. KEKSI.com. Yeah. People really like the new coconut caramel.
Oh, yeah.
It's so good.
When the coconut caramel...
15% off right now, too. At
15% off?
15% off.
Kexi.com?
Indeed. Yes. The official cookie, if I'm not mistaken, of...
at themikeshow.com.
Yeah.
This week...
who's on?
Dr. Drew Pinsky. You remember him from Love Lines?
Dr. Drew, yes!
Yeah, it's a great conversation. He is such a great guy.
Wow.
Good talk.
It's really interesting.
At themikeshow.com.
I got to check that one out.
Yes, sir.
All right, see you on Glenn's show, and then back here tomorrow, Pat Gray Unleashed.
Pat Gray, only on the Blaze Radio Network.